Hello.
Hey, hello everybody. Hope you can hear and see us okay.
Welcome to the Japanese Knife 101. It's Naoto and Nathan's show. We may have the Chris Lordy usual stuff coming by later on, but he may be a little busy at the moment. So we'll do a little bit of introduction and stuff to start from, and hopefully that Chris can join us later on.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch of cool knives to show off, and going to talk about Naoto's trip to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of stories for you guys. So yeah, hope you enjoy. Feel free to ask your questions. We might get to them a little later in the show because we got kind of a bit of a plan today. But thanks for tuning in, everybody. Happy Tuesday.
Yeah, few I guess announcements to make. The as for those of you who may know, to tune in this garage sale episode, we'll have the semi-annual spring garage sale starting on May 16th until the 23rd. That's the May long weekend, just over the May long weekend. Also, we have a so to kind of to road to the garage sale, we'll have the Sharp Knife Rock episode 11, May 9th, 3 p.m., where we are going to talk a little bit about the trip that we actually took. Me and Mike took to Japan, and I met a whole bunch of different people there, as well as the some like previews of the garage sale.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting episode. We're also giving away 2 knives. We've got a prototype from Masashi-san from his new line. I can go and grab those in a sec. Yeah. And we got a Seki Kanetsugu Heptagon, a new line from them, which will be pretty exciting. So,
oh, hey,
hey, I made it.
There he is.
Whew.
How's it going?
I'm tired now. I'm out of breath. I'm out of shape. I carried 8 boxes, and now I'm out. Now I'm all sleepy.
Whoa. You got a whole bunch of stuff came in, eh?
Yeah, well, there's all kinds of... That's what got unpacked already, and then there's a bunch of boxes over there, and then there's this guy out the door.
Oh.
So, see a little bit of coming and going.
Yeah, that's a little bit of fun stuff, and you will be expecting more in coming weeks too.
Yeah. Nathan and I were chatting earlier, saying that we're going to start sending garage sale stuff out to the stores.
Yep.
That's going to be exciting.
Hopefully, have enough time to kind of go over and like what they are and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I missed the first couple minutes there. We get through all the regular housekeeping.
Yeah, we're just basically saying that the garage sale is coming, and we announced that the Sharp Knife Rock episode is going to be on the May 9th, 3 p.m. Mountain Time. So where we are going to talk about our trip. Mike and I went to Japan, and our trip to Japan, and little brief introduction of the this Knifewear garage sale. It's not ordinary garage sale. Knifewear garage sale is very something that's different. For those of you who are not familiar with the Knifewear garage sale, Knifewear garage sale, despite the name suggests, it's not really the ordinary garage sale, right?
Yeah, it's not just a bunch of crap we're trying to get rid of because we're moving.
Yeah. This garage sale, and one of the reasons why we would actually like to go to Japan before the garage sale is that to see not only to reconnect with those knife makers and blacksmiths, but to see what they have been working on, right? For example, what are the new projects? What's the new knives that they've been working on? And hopefully, see that in person and, introduce to the customers.
I think the main reason why we call it the garage sale is because originally the Calgary store is so small that we just had all these extra knives. We even just call it garage sailing. I'll show you what I mean. Where you come into the store and all the knives are displayed in their box. Like this, a little price tag tells you what's a little bit about the knife, kind of what's the steel and what's the price.
Yep.
And they're just everywhere.
Yep.
So that's why it's called garage sale. So while you're unpacking that, Naoto, I'm gonna just handle a couple of quick questions.
Yeah.
In the stream here. So we got we got a lot of familiar faces. John May, E30 Birdie, James, Chris, Don. Okay, so John's first question. This should be an easy one. Is there going to be any Moritaka Aogami Super Ishime in the garage?
Not this time, unfortunately. The Moritaka-san's we weren't able to actually go visit Moritaka-san this time. So Moritaka-san's those items kind of became more of the once a year stuff. So we're hoping to see them in the November one.
Yeah, we usually get them in the fall for the fall garage sale.
Yeah,
just the timing I think works. James wondering. We'll just get this out of the way now. Is there going to be any Tsukasa Hinora, Shigefusa, or Kiyoshi Kato in the garage sale?
Hinting, maybe Tsukasa, maybe Shigefusa. Not really Kiyoshi Kato, maybe. So keep your eyes peeled. We have something very interesting that James, you may be interested in. That's like this here. Well, I just saw the first time tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. This is the Knifewear Japanese Knife 101 Garage Sale Edition. But James, you may be interested in something like this.
Oh,
obviously this is Honyaki, mirror polish, double bevel, and if you can see what it's actually engraved on, it's kind of hard. It's here.
Yeah, you can kind of see it.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it there. I just can't read it because I can't read Japanese.
Yeah. So James, if you can read it, you may know what it says. It says
you're a devil. You're a little devil.
It says Aogami Super. This is the Aogami Super Honyaki.
So I know what it is because I got this email from Nathan earlier.
Aogami
this is
Super.
how I find out about garage sale.
Aogami Super Honyaki, made by forged by Yoshikazu Ikeda, who's one of the 3 blacksmiths in the Sakai region that can make the Honyaki knives. So,
wicked!
Here you go.
I don't have a Honyaki knife yet. That's one of the ones I've wanted for a long time.
Yeah, I was actually I got to sharpening one blue carbon steel Honyaki the other day, and it was so hard. It doesn't catch like the stones that I was using. It wasn't really grabbing anything, so I'm like, it was so hard.
Yeah, James knew what it was right away.
Yep.
Freaking James, eh? He knows.
Right? Yeah.
James knows. John's got a question about other tinker shapes. It says, and this, for those of you who are new, tanks are rare but show up occasionally. Is it the same for the shark teeth Debas?
It's very rare. It had become such a rare piece. Even if you look at all over knife world, you don't get to see the shark teeth, nor there's
another one, the saber tooth.
Saber teeth, yeah. We've only seen saber teeth once.
Yeah.
And shark teeth probably twice. Tank comes time. So
I think tank is their most popular one.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Not a ton of people, only I don't have any single bevel knives. But I'm left-handed, so it's kind of hard for me to find. I don't want to just buy one just because.
Yeah.
But yeah, at least in Ontario, where I am, you don't see as many single bevel knives. You can get them, but they're mostly just for fun. Like, someone doesn't really use them day to day around here.
Yeah, exactly.
It's common. And then Peter and Isaac, these guys are talking about ice cream and hot dogs. So today, I'm just going to throw this out. There's a cool business here in town called the Mary Dairy. They started off as an ice cream truck. Now they've got a little business of like a brick and mortar business, and they just put out a cookbook. And they're doing a book launch party today. So we've got Alex and Megan are down at Mary Dairy right now. They're setting up. They're going to do. They're grilling hot dogs for a little by donation to Operation Come Home. So that's who we support when we do like the $24 challenge and those things for those of you who watch a lot of our videos. So that's what Isaac and Peter are talking about. So
nice.
MRK asks if it's a garage sale, why are there never any garages for sale? MRK clearly has children if he's asking jokes. Lorenzo is wondering about any Shibata SRS Yanagibas.
Again, those like
300.
Yeah, again, those like Shibas. It's under Kotetsu line, right? We haven't seen the single bevel Kotetsu for a little while, although we do have them like ordered. Haven't seen them for a little while, so not 100% sure when we're gonna get them. We're hoping to see them sometimes. We do have kind of few cool single bevel selections here as well, and we may be actually getting into a little bit more like hand forged in the future. It's not at this garage sale, but in the near future we may be getting into more like the stainless steel, like SG2 single bevel knives like that.
Oh wow!
We have something like this, the Aogami number 2, Sakimaru Takobiki, like this. It's got really nice forging texture on the back. It's really, this tapers are very nice and even, cool, and single bevel. So we have a few single bevel selections in this as well. That's fun. I'm just gonna keep them out there. This is made by the Akira Sasaoka-san in the Tosa.
Cool. Well, what else we got here? I like to just, I don't know, Naoto, we don't do these together too often.
No.
I like to just plow through the questions and then we take a little break. Talk about whatever you want to talk about. Peter's got a good question.
Yeah.
Anything you've seen that would be your number 2 pick for the end of the first day? Won't ask number 1 so folks don't snipe them. So the big rule about garage sale, right, and what Naoto's getting at here is that we get a lot of stuff that we don't normally see, right? New makers, new knives from people we know, new steels that maybe we aren't super familiar with yet. It's as much fun for the staff as it is for the customers. And one of the rules, though, is that staff members aren't allowed to buy a knife until the end of the first day, which means I need to wait until 6 p.m. in order to, if I want to buy a knife. Yeah. So that means I can't cherry pick all the cool stuff. So what would your number 2, just kind of based off the list I got?
There are quite a few really good ones that could be on top. There are this time there are a lot of knives that I was so excited about, so that any of those say 5 knives could be on top.
Okay.
Right? The one of which is this guy here, which I probably will talk about in the one of the shows here. Satoshi Nakagawa is one of the up and coming super cool blacksmith. Not up and coming anymore. He's it's very established blacksmith in Sakai. Look at his signature Damascus is this type of Damascus.
That's beautiful.
It goes a little bit more longer way, this way, instead of round.
Yeah.
This is the etched Damascus forged by Nakagawa-san and sharpened by the Myojin-san and Tosa. This is really Aogami number 1, beautiful piece here with the Kiritsuke bunka shape.
What does the word Aoichi mean? Aoichi.
Aoichi? It's Aoichi. So Ao means blue, Ichi means 1. So blue number 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you generally speaking, if you see the knife say Aogami or the blue carbon, generally that means blue carbon number 2. So the ones that, in order to kind of differentiate from the number 1 to number 2, most of the knives that we have, we carry with Aogami number 1 steel. We call it Aoichi. It's like Shiro Ichi, the Shirogami white carbon Ichi as a number 1. Some call it Shironi as a Shiro white, Ni as 2.
Oh, okay.
But most people in Japan, most blacksmith knife makers, they call it Shirogami or Shiro. Shiro could actually mean something else sometimes, but like Shirogami is generally the terminology that they use. Yeah, that's why we say Aoichi instead of just.
Oh, that's cool. I feel like I should have been able to put that together myself.
Yeah,
but I'm glad I had you to explain it. What else do we have? John is saying, "Hey, do you have a Sasaoka Shirogami Damascus Deba nearby? Do we have one of those around?"
Let's see. I may need someone to grab one. For 1 second. I thought we did have one of his single bevel. Can you, Nathan? There's one single bevel. So not the Deba, but I have the same. Yeah, sure. Sure. This is the same Sasaoka-san's Damascus Yanagiba. So it'll be pretty much the same. It's really nicely actually sharpened and made. The grains on the Damascus is pretty nice and tight.
Yeah.
Right, and it's really nicely sharpened. You can see that the reflection, that's pretty even. Right, there's no much. Yeah. So the Nathan is going to pick up that.
That's nice of him.
Deba. Yeah.
So Jordan, I think we know this, Jordan. Are you guys allowed to leak the upcoming shape list for the new Masashi stuff yet? Do we know what shapes we're getting? So Jordan's asking about, because Masashi had earlier in the year had announced he was going to discontinue 2 of his lines, the Kamuri, which is an SLD line with a nice kind of smoky Migaki finish. And then he's got the Koi, which is a VS1 with like big circular Tsuchime patterning, looks like the scales on a fish. So he's announced that he's going to do 2 new lines in the same steels but different looks
and different techniques, and steel, lots of improvements, right? But this is the one. This is one of the giveaway knife at the Sharp Knife Rock episode 11. Watch that and enter to win this gorgeous, actually one of the prototypes that we have. This one here, the SLD Kurochi with the very nice finish here. We call this Kokuen. Black Smoke is the Nathan's here. Black Smoke is a translation here. So we'll have on this Kokuen series, we'll obviously Bunka, Gyuto 210, Gyuto 240, Tsujihiki 240, Petty 135 millimeters, Kobunka. That's so all of which have this super cool Kiritsuke or Bunka shape.
Even the 135 Petty?
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully.
I think that's my next knife.
Yeah. And the other line we call it Kaijin. Kaijin could mean several things. Our kanji or character means it's ashes. So what it looks like is the really beautiful Nishiji with the some like sparkle, shiny finish to it. That one there, we'll have regular shapes like Santoku. Oh, sorry, I totally forgot to mention Nakiri. So we have 135 mil Petty, Santoku, Nakiri, Gyuto 210, Gyuto 240, 240 Tsujihiki. As well on this Kaijin line, because this VS1 steel is fantastic steel to do a butchering with, there is a Honesuki as well.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
Musashi's Hanasukis are really impressive. They're like very purpose built.
And he did talk about the purposes too. So this is the Sasaoka-san's deba there. It's really nice.
Just to go back to John asking about that knife in particular.
So the release of those two different new lines is still to be announced, but soon. It's very soon. We'll release them 2 lines at simultaneously.
Yeah,
I'm hoping so.
We got Don Penny saying he wasn't planning on buying anything this time around, but he doesn't have a cool Yanagiba yet. So
yeah, that's
Don Penny hasn't intended on buying anything the last 4 garage sales. But he does. And then Albert is asking, who's the most interesting new to Knifewear blacksmith who will be part of the sale?
Interesting. New to Knifewear. I mean, again, Ikeda-san, Yoshikazu Ikeda-san, we never really had the chance to hold his knives before. And this is definitely one of the interesting blacksmiths that there are 3 highly well, I don't want to say 3, but the 3 really skilled knife makers for the blacksmiths in Sakai that can forge a honyaki blades pretty comfortably. Who is the Yoshikazu Ikeda-san, Satoshi Nakagawa-san, and Togashi-san. And we have had the Togashi-san and Nakagawa-san's knife before, but we haven't had the Yoshikazu Ikeda-san's knife before. So it's kind of a really interesting piece to look at, and I love how it's forged. It's like really nice, even taper. And Aogami Super is one of those steels that's like, no one really uses for a honyaki blades, right? So it's got a really nice subtle hamon as well as really beautiful finish on the blade. So this one is someone relatively new to us, for sure. Who else? That's like, we did see a few knife makers in Japan, but like new people there, but we haven't been able to. Well, they have to make them from there, right? So they didn't have any stock. So in a future garage sale, we'll have those knives coming in soon.
Awesome. Yeah. What about James? Is on fire with some good questions. By the way, I think you'll be having a Hashimoto Yuzan for garage sale. What can you tell us about that? What's that mean?
Nathan, can you grab me a Shoichi Hashimoto knife, please? Thank you. So yes, Shoichi Hashimoto knife. Yuzan, so he has like 2 different lines. The Yuzan line is I think his signature. Another one that we had was like more torsion Damascus with the 2 or 3 different types of steel all in one piece. Where this Yuzan series, he forge welds the 2 different Damascus steel into, so like 4 different steels. Use the softer steel into making the outer layer steel, and hard 2 steels make it into layer and forge weld it like this. So you see really crazy Damascus on the Jigane, which is the softer protection part, as well, which you don't really see on the most blacksmith knives, with the very weird looking Damascus finish on the core steel. So for those of you who are not super familiar with the core and outside steel, Japanese knives generally are made with 2 different types of steel. So as you can see that, different tone color, like at the edge, and it goes a little bit more, I guess, misty on top, right? The reason why is that the Japanese knife maker is much harder steel, so it becomes a little bit more fragile. So they use those soft steel to wrap around on top of that. So the usually you see just a single piece. No, well, yeah, they're on the shipping table.
Oh, okay.
You see only one single piece like this, right? Where the Hashimoto-san, he basically make one for himself by folding a steel over and over. So it's kind of cool technique. In the meantime, I was just going to show people a few things. This is, I think, second batch of knives. We get it from this blacksmith called Munetoshi.
Well, I think I have one of his knives here.
He's great. We actually went to see him and see
cool.
him in action. The Munetoshi-san is so he's from Sanjo area, right? Sanjo is very famous place for traditionally carpentry tools, also nails, like nails to build build temples and stuff, as well as like hatchets and those forestry tools.
Yeah.
But so these are considered to be its direct translation is thick blacksmith, people who make thicker blades.
Oh, okay.
And kitchen knives are more thin blacksmith.
All right.
But of course, that area is still also famous for its harvesting rice. The Niigata, the plain, is very famous for a rice making.
Is that why sake, like Niigata sake, is supposed to be so good?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Niigata was actually bottom of the ocean. Gata is the place where Gata means the place where it used to be ocean, and it dried up and became just a single plain. And Niigata, the character, is a new, so new plain. So it's one of those newer areas that they. So it's a very fertile land.
Yeah.
And great for a. Anyways, so the Munetoshi-san is this blacksmith specialized in sickle making. So the thin blacksmith. And with his technique, he made the really nice thin blade and really nice taper here as well, the kitchen knives, using the technique. His technique to make sickles are really amazing as well. It was amazing to watch. We'll have some probably in harvesting season, maybe, hopefully.
Oh, cool.
Harvesting season, which is about 6 months away.
Yeah. Oh, that's good because my dad's birthday is in the fall. And I've been buying him like over the years because my dad, he spends a little bit of time in the kitchen, but he's definitely more of a gardener. So like I've gotten him hatchets and like those like all the different gardening hoes that we got and different the pruning shears and such. So yeah, something new would be fun.
Yeah, we'll have those sickles made by him, as well as we'll get this big scissors type of shears.
Yeah.
For the like what the gardeners use, right?
Yeah.
By the way, here is the Shoichi Hashimoto Yuzan. So you see the very interesting pattern on the softer layer of steel. But if you look close on the core steel,
there's some there too.
Yeah, like I think you can see them.
That's crazy. The first side of that knife looked like a snake.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
It's like beautiful piece.
Yeah. Here, I'm going to do a quick little, we're going to do a little rapid fire, Naoto.
Yeah.
Grant is asking us when the knives will be on the garage sale page. Do we know?
The garage sale preview page is already up. The ones that we have stock already in, they should be in there to view.
Okay. So if it's not there now, Grant, it'll be there soon.
Yeah.
Lorenzo is asking for details on the knife Naoto and Masashi-san are working on. Is that that's the one you were showing us before?
Yeah.
So you have a chance to win that particular knife Naoto's holding on to by watching Sharp Knives Rock. So that's that one there is SLD with a Kurochi finish. And what was the word again? I know it meant black smoke. What was it again?
Kokuen.
Kokuen.
Yeah.
Cool.
Black smoke.
Hodorific has a really good question. I haven't seen their name pop up in a while. It's good to have them back. Any recommendations for a first single bevel to get used to and sharpening on?
So, single bevels, you will definitely. So, a few different ways of sharpening it. Single bevels, though, when you're sharpening single bevel knives like these, you could, it's like, for example, something like these fancy knives like this, you can just sharpen the last edge at 15 degrees and you can get away with it for a little while. Although, over time you may need to do a little bit more thinning. In order to sharpen a single bevel knife like this properly, you need to have a knife, or you need to grind this whole bevel down each time.
Yeah.
That means you actually will need quite a bit of different like stones.
Yeah.
I would usually when you're just sharpening a double bevel knives, you could get away with just using the like 1000 grit and 4000 grit to finish. Where the single bevel knife like this, it is really important to have the coarse stone like 220, 400, those type of coarse stone to get the really nice even bevel finish. Then 1000 and 4000. So like that three's probably, I wouldn't say bare minimum, but it's really important to have them. Important to take care of and being able to maintain at the edge. That three stones would be fantastic.
Yeah. And I think if I was going to recommend a knife for you,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of great stuff from Sakai Takayuki.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you don't want to go like super crazy and go after Damascus and that kind of thing. Sasoka-san makes some, I don't know if we have them, but we used to get a mix of stuff from him. It wasn't always all Damascus.
Nope.
But you could get like a 165 Deba for $200. Sakai Takayuki has a lot of great options. Go for carbon steel, in my opinion. It'll be a lot easier for you to learn how to sharpen as opposed to like the AUS 8s and whatnot. And it's a little more true to form. Like I think if you're getting a traditional knife, it's probably like, I don't know, Naoto, maybe I'm being a bit fussy, but I think there's something cool about a white carbon like single bevel knife.
Yeah.
Like it's like the traditional choice, right? Like it's not like, I don't know. Like it's not like you don't like, there are places that do it, but you don't always want a bunch of weird stuff on your hamburger, right? Like lettuce, tomatoes, and onions is a good choice for a lot of reasons.
If you like something fancy, on the garage sale section, we'll have this code. This one, single bevel Yanagiba code Nanairo from Sakai Takayuki, where they take the stainless steel AUS 8 inox blade and puts very fancy handles. Nanairo means 7 colors, or like rainbow, right? So
okay,
we just got one of each for kick because it looks kind of cool. Different colors, each one has the pictures, so something that if you're looking for something unique, you could grab those as well. We are basically getting those out of the boxes right now, so we don't. I don't have it right now, but so those ones are pretty cool.
All right.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Holy shit! There's a lot of questions today. Zuaran Lee. I want to buy a mirror Miyu Honyaki Usuba or Gyuto. This time, are there any rare knife that can look at it? The price is about 2,000, 3,000.
You want to put the question up there?
Yeah.
Yep.
So Mizu Honyaki.
The Usuba, we don't have those. Especially the Mizu Honyaki. Mizu Honyaki basically means water quenched. So water quenched Honyaki, we have a few. Again, the Yoshida Ikeda Yoshikazu-san's the Aogami Super Honyakis are here, as well as the we have something super actually cool that's actually sitting across from me. Hey Nathan, sorry to bother. I don't know if he's there. I'll be right back.
Okay, I'm going to try to hit up a few of these questions I can handle on my own. Okay, I got a pen here. Isaac is asking about special new Nigaras. I don't have an answer to that. What else we got here? Oh, you got back too fast. I didn't really
right there.
answer any questions.
There's it's not a mirror, but it's something super cool, Honyaki. I think with this one we only have one. I can't remember. Maybe. Yoshikazu, sorry. The Satoshi Nakagawa-san makes the, as I said, he makes really crazy Honyaki. This one here is the Aogami #1 Mizu Honyaki, the blue, the water quenched. It's not mirror, but basically what they try to do is they try to get the natural flow, metal flow out.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look close enough, you'll be able to see really beautiful metal flow. It's called you could call it the Japanese sword term. It's called jihada. The
Jihada.
Yeah. So this one here, Satoshi Nakagawa, Aogami, Aoichi. Yeah, Aoichi Honyaki with jihada on them. This is some really beautiful piece of the Honyaki there. So
I'm gonna get an easy one for you. Yeah. Has Ikeda-san, like Takafu Ikeda, has he taken over making the Giga Nikiri now that Anryu-san?
Everything, every single piece that's coming from the his workshop, and it's not just a sudden change. Just so you know, the Ikeda-san has been a main blacksmith at the Anryu Hamono for 3-4 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like certain switch over.
Yeah.
The name change was happened because it's just really structural change.
Yeah.
And it's more responsibility as well. It's different than just the now it's not like, oh, now you are the head blacksmith, start making things now type of situation.
Well, it's like think about it like this, right? Like a chef.
Mm-hmm.
You're a cook. You do most of the cooking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I worked in enough restaurants, so definitely like lots of people here probably have some good restaurant experience. Mm-hmm. You know the chef's not doing everything.
Mm-hmm. It's a sous chef, mostly sous chef. That's
Gordon Ramsay's not flipping steaks in Las Vegas.
No.
You know? So it's like going from being like, the person doing the production to the person managing. Like he now has to manage that business. Yeah. It's not just about making knives. Now he's got to pay the bills too.
Yep.
Right. So it's like, and it's well deserved. He makes amazing knives, and Anryu-san deserves his retirement.
Yeah.
He's an old man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I made one knife when I was in Takafu 6 years ago, I guess now. I made one knife and I was tired. And I'm twice as big
that's
as any of these guys,
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
What about Naoto? Isaac is asking us about Nigara knives. Do we have any new Nigara knives, or if there's any news coming out of there?
We have some Nigara knives with a bit of fancy handles.
Yeah.
At this one.
Oh yeah, those are gorgeous.
We are waiting on some of the so-called not ammon. We're waiting on some of those knives called the onigoroshi, or in English they call it troll killers. So it's hand-folded Damascus. It was great. We actually, when we were there at the Nigara's workshop, and he actually showed us how he makes those hand-folded Damascus in front of our eyes. So it was amazing. And he was actually showing us the knives that he was sending to us. So maybe make it to actually the during the garage sale. That is why
I would 10 out of 10. I would buy a knife that is called a troll killer, just because of the name. It could be for shallots.
Yeah.
It could be a tiny little paring knife, and I would buy that.
That's what I'm hoping to actually see. Let's see if he, it's right now in Japan. It's called the Golden Week. Most businesses are closed from the April 29th to the by the end of this week, or actually, yeah. So it's like 10. Most businesses they're closed for 10 straight days. So I can't really reach out them, but if everything timing is all right, it may actually arrive the like middle of the garage sale as well.
That happens almost every year.
Yeah.
Like where we get a little bit of a push in the middle of the sale, with like stuff we were expecting and didn't show up, and that's always pretty cool. Spoon Monkey is asking, "Hey guys and gals, late to the stream. Have you covered the shipping to the UK issue? I picked a few blades up in last year's sale and wanted to know if anything will change soon." We got an email.
Yes, we did.
Like 25 minutes ago or an hour ago. It's maybe it's dealt with. It looks like we can use UPS to ship them. We've got a couple of things we got to do, and you need to have an adult present to sign off on the knife.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's the real issue. Shipping into the UK is about ensuring that the knife is being sold to an adult. So it looks like if it isn't already fixed, it will be very, very shortly.
Yeah.
So no needs for you to worry there, Spoon Monkey.
Yeah.
Volcom Dork asking about Masashi's. There's some really cool stuff going on with Masashi right now. Ken from Gatineau says thank you. His wife loves the Fujimoto knives. Oh, I'm really glad to hear that. Sometimes you know, I couldn't buy my wife a kitchen knife. She'd slap me with the box if I did. But I'm really glad that those worked out for you. Chris is asking if we have a Mutsumi Hinora hunting knife 120. I think I might have one here.
Yeah, you may have one there.
Yeah, I'm gonna shout out to one of the boys, ask him to bring it to me.
May not have it here, but
I think I have one. I think I have one of the Tsuchime ones. And then Fred is asking about takohikis or yanagi knives in the garage sale. A lot of single bevel love today.
Yeah, the like quite a few of the those knives here. Some of the very unique pieces that we are going to get for this garage sale is called the Sakai Takayuki Guren Yanagiba's Sakimaru Takohiki or the Kiritsuke. So Sakimaru Takohiki means the Kenga. Some people, I guess, call it differently. But the Sakimaru means the tip is like this, sword tip like this. Sakai Takayuki actually call it the different. They call this tip Kengata. Kengata means Ken is a sword. So sword tip yanagi. But we'll have, again, so-called Guren single bevels. So Doi-san forged it, sharpened by Yamatsuka-san. It's got really beautiful tsuchime on here and beautifully finished on the bevel. So those are going to be on the first day. Okay. So yeah, those ones are actually really, really cool. Here you go. You know, Chris, we get to actually see Mutsumi-san this trip. We actually get to sit down and we get to do a little bit of filming. I think you're muted, maybe?
I was, yeah. I turned my mic off so when I was swearing at everyone here, no one would hear me. But that's really cool.
Yeah. So here's a little bit of a funny thing. I had never seen Hinora Senior, the Tsukasa-san and the Mutsumi-san in the same room together ever before. I wasn't. We hadn't. But this time they were together in the room, and they were. So it was good. It was good to talk to those two great blacksmiths in the same room, and it was good encounter. We will have some Mutsumi-san's kitchen knives soonish as well. It's just really a timing. We didn't make it to
Yeah.
this time, but we'll have some Muchan's knife this time soon. And he's such great guy to talk to.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun. We had a good. So when I went to Japan, but just before Kevin's book came out, and there's all those photographs of Hinara-san working, Tsukasa Hinara. There's lots of sparks, right? Because they really loaded on all the flux.
Yeah.
Because makes for good photography. And just as he's about to swing the hammer down, Kevin pushed me right in front of him. And I just got like showered with all these sparks, burnt a hole in my shirt.
Ooh.
Freaking Kevin, eh?
You didn't see those two people in the same room though, did you?
I don't. They were both there,
right?
But I don't think we were sitting in the office with Hinora-san and with Kazama-san.
Yeah.
We were with them together. And then we went, and then I think, we spoke with Matsumi-san in the garden.
Right.
I think separate.
I don't think they were. I had never seen those two in the same room together before. And I think it's things changed quite a bit as the
Peter Parker and Spider-Man. You never see them in the same room.
No. No, but I think things changed. The Mutsumi-san has taken a little bit more roles in the community as well. He was deeply involved in this festival in the area. Open factory event. So they're working together. They made the factory really beautiful and nice. We went into the Mutsumi. I don't know. Tsukasa-san's sharpening workshop where he has a whole bunch of sharpening stones and got the really nice audio. It was beautiful.
Yeah. They're lovely people. They're so kind. Yeah. I remember when I was hanging out there with Hinora-san, it was very you didn't really there was nothing about spending time with him that implied that he was a knife celebrity or that he was a highly sought after artisan. We just talked a little bit about, now I can't speak Japanese, so my conversations are limited, but being with Kazama was great because Kazama is very fluent in English and obviously Japanese. We talked a little bit about music and food, and it was really cool. And we're just hanging out in his workshop, this is a thing. I remember Eric still worked here back then. And, we had watched Spring Hammer. We were hired at the same time. And it was even we're oh, wow, I get to meet these people. They're in a movie and I get to meet them. Right. So it was really cool. Eric felt that way about you.
Oh, well.
Eric was oh, Naoto from the movie. And then I told Eric, I was oh, Naoto's just a jerk. Don't worry about that. We've got Albert asking about forestry tools. Some new gardening tools coming. Naoto's talking a little bit about that with stuff from Munetoshi-san.
The sickles are in production right now, as well as some of the bigger. I don't know what do you call it in English, but those bigger pruning type of shears that has.
Yeah, that's what I would call a hedge trimmer.
Hedge trimmer, yeah.
Yeah, but a really big set of shears is very. This motion that you're doing, Naoto, is perfect for description. Yeah,
that kind of stuff. Trimming or shaping up your garden or something like those. We are actually going to get pretty soonish. So those ones are pretty good. Some pruning shears as well.
I'll buy those for sure for my dad. Yeah. There's a really good conversation going on here with Engines on Mute asking about durable petty knives. We hear this a lot, right? It's something that makes a good gift, or you want something that everyone in your family can use. So John, Engines asking for a petty knife. John May recommended the Seki VG2 Heptagon petty.
Yeah.
Isaac recommended a Haruyuki Zanpa. Yeah, that's also a good bet. What else is there? That's everyone talking about that. What do you
if you're looking for something in the garage sale realm, you can find Tsunehisa, Aogami, Tsuchime Western, the ones that we have, like, so Aogami number 2 core, stainless clad on the outside. It's got a really nice, beautiful hammer patterns and European handle. So for those people who's never used the Japanese knives before, it's a little bit easier to get it into, I guess, like get the hang of it pretty quick, as well as pretty decently made knife for a really great price as well.
I like a Western handle on a petty. A couple of my favorite petties have Western handles.
So those ones are good as well. We have like something like the Makoto Kurosaki, the Sakura, the Cherry Blossom series. I think he's been trying. The Makoto Kurosaki-san is the older brother of the Yu Kurosaki, famed blacksmith in the Takeru region. He started his own sharpening workshop, his brother Makoto-san, and he's been trying really hard to kind of get really his signature type of sharpening skill, right? I think he's trying to find the good balance between the sharpness and the toughness. And I think this batch here, Makoto Kurosaki SG2 Sakura, is really nice in between type of edge. Not too thin, not too like fat. It's got really nice, good, well balanced thickness, sharpness type of grade.
What else we got here? Okay, Don Penny is saying that 300 mil Sakai Takayuki Zengetsu Sekimura, looking pretty good.
Yep.
Peter is asking about any cookware or small wares. James Dean. So we'll get to Peter. Let's think about some cookware for a minute.
Yep.
And then I'll throw it over to you there. James is watching from LA. James is fun. I like James. Isaac agrees, wants a troll killer. Our friend Zuaran Lee, I apologize if I'm not saying your name properly. Zuaran.
Version Damascus steel.
Yeah. Zangetsu N10. Cool. Okay, what do we have in the way of cookware?
So we have quite a few new cookware came in for this kind of launch at the same time kind of stuff. We have this cookware maker in Japan called Oaks that makes a brand called Leye. Really nice, slick looking cookwares that's like really fits kind of like niche type of things, but it's great. So we have some ladles with the I should probably grab a few there, but we have a ladle and a serving spoon with a little bit of holes on that. So you have the handle here and holes on this side. So you scoop, and any excess moisture, say if you're picking up the pickles or pickles from the jar, or some like soup dish that you don't want that much of soup with, you can drain that from the hole there.
Like if you were eating Odin in a 7-Eleven.
Exactly. And it's really nicely stylish stuff as well. There is we call it the fingertip tongs. So it's small tong that you could use it as your fingers. Say if you're cutting up your chicken, or if you're breading, you're making tonkatsu and stuff like that. You don't want to use all your fingers to do all stuff and go to the, you have to wash your hands every time. That little thing can work, and soup can be very precise as well. So you can drench in the flour with that little small tong instead of like super big one. And you could have them hold it, and you can have them like to help to cut, like guide your knuckles as well.
Yeah.
So those ones
that's a good idea.
Yeah. So it's like super small stuff, but can be useful in very many different ways. So those are Leye tongs. We have actually this thing, which I'm going to actually grab and to show people really quick.
Okay, I'm gonna blast through. Volcom Dork asking about some finger stones in the garage sale. What about custom handles? I know for a fact we've been getting custom handles. Last time I was in Calgary, I stole a bunch out of Naoto's office and put them on some knives here in Ottawa. So keep an eye out for, there's going to be a lot of custom handles on knives. And there's also, like, we should have a few around for sale. Oh, is that what I think it is? Did I ask you to order that?
No, not the exact the same one. So
okay.
This was an older for a little while. This is really good. We call it the prep pan. Prep pan. So it's a stainless steel little pan, right? Like,
yeah,
it comes in a one size smaller, that's half size as well. So this is pretty big.
Yeah,
but it's great. So it comes with like this and a strainer and a plastic lid. Great way to make a fried chicken.
Yeah.
Right? Just put the chicken, flour, right?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Great way to store any food. What I would probably do for, like, say 2 steaks, I'll salt them, and all the excess moisture will just drop it down in the bottom.
That's a great idea.
Like this in the fridge. You can keep any like veggies like asparagus and stuff like that. Like, wash it, just lay flat like this. Such great multi-purpose tool for any type of cooking. So this one here, it's pretty actually fairly big. There's another size again, the one size smaller, which is a half size, like this. So it can be stacked. So if you buy this and 2 of the small ones, it will stack in the in like very nicely, evenly.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so this is something that I was really excited about because it's so versatile and useful when it comes to the like cooking and prepping.
What about?
Yeah,
I was gonna say, do we have any? Volcom here is asking about finger stones. Do you have any finger stones for the garage sale?
Not this time, unfortunately. Those natural stones comes like, very occasionally. So we may have them for the next one. We had them once, and we broke a whole bunch of stones into finger stones.
Yeah, they were really popular.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll see them soonish.
Okay, what else have I got here?
And,
here, this might be an easy one, Naoto.
Yeah.
You Curse Shattered Realism Elite bought a Yu Kurosaki Senko Petty with a rosewood handle, and the handle smells like rosewood, which is fine, but the smell transfers to their hands and then to the food. Any advice on really fragrant wood? I would just start waxing the handle a whole bunch and kind of seal it in, kind of give the wood a bit more of a finished feel.
Yeah, I have a few rosewood handle at home, and I never noticed that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And usually the rosewood, if you have the rosewood from Kurosaki-san, it's usually from the this manufacturer that the many knife makers get the handle from. Like that's really good idea. To just wax them to kind of have this seal on, stuff like that.
Yeah, wax it lots, I'd say.
Yeah. Someone's asking some fancy handle like that, right?
So that one looks like bubble gum. I like it.
We'll have a few of these available.
Yeah. We have a couple in Ottawa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Horrific, unrelated to garage sale, but I just got to buy an older VG10 Fujin from Kurosaki.
Yeah,
How'd you guys get one of those? I don't know. Naoto might have stole it out of the Tekafu. Naoto's like a little burglar. You just ask real nice sometimes.
Yeah. How do we get one?
It might have just been around for a while. It might have just flown under the radar.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Volcom is asking about anything new from Doi. So Naoto, we can talk about that.
I was mentioning a little bit about the Doi-san's knife. The Sakai Takayuki Guren series are coming back with Petty and 210. As well, we will have some single bevel Gurens, which are Sakimaru Takohiki. It's more like sword tip yanagi, kiritsuki yanagi, and the regular yanagis. So these are going to be on that thing quite soon. So you'll be able to see that in the picture. Really,
cool. Alex here in Ottawa bought a Guren Nikiri. and they are badass. The two, like the Gyutos in that line, like I need one of those. I've got a couple of knives that I really, really want, and they're all Gyutos. I just use Gyutos all the time. But a Guren Gyuto, I really wanted one of those Manaka ATS 34, like a 240 in that. I really want one of those. But I'm really liking the Hado Sakai Ginsan Kiratsukes. Like those are like probably my top, and they're all fancy. They're all fancy boy knives. Like I'm not looking for cheap and cheerful.
We were in Japan, and we get to visit the Hado Sakai, and the head sharpener there, the Moriyama-san. He's really good. He is he's not in the industry for that long, but because of that, he absorbs like different ideas and tries so many different things when it comes to sharpening. So when we were there, we looked at the his new batch of the Hado Sumi knives, and it's cool.
You have one of those, don't you? That knife is very popular with our staff.
I do have 240, and I looked at the 210, the new batch that came out, and they were just sitting around.
You want one of those too? Yeah.
I don't usually buy two knives from the same line, but because they've been trying and they've been improving the quality of sharpening skills, I may have to actually buy the 210.
Yeah.
I even asked them, like, this is true story. I even asked them, like, one knife that they had on the floor. I was like, is that coming to Knifewear? If that is, please put the little dot on the box.
So you can find it.
I can find it.
Yeah.
That was.
Now everyone's going to be looking for dots on boxes. So because we were talking about Hinora-san and Muchan being in the same room at the same time, there's a lot of people now concerned that they are the same person.
Oh.
Or possibly there's doppelgangers.
Because you said the Peter Parker and the Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly. So do you want to dig out that Yoshikazu Ikeda Honyaki knife for another little tease for our friend Zuoran Lee? And then while you're digging that out, I'm going to answer Digger's question. Best knife to butcher a whole beef tenderloin, recommendation and size. So I went to culinary school here in Canada. So the knife that I would probably reach for is a more traditional boning knife shape. I do really like the Kasumi boning knives that we have. If I didn't have one of those handy, I would likely grab a 150 millimeter petty. When you're doing a tenderloin, because tenderloin, A, it's expensive, and B, it's got a lot of silver skin and fat on it that you want to get all of that off. So you want a nice thin knife that can slip under the silver skin and you're not wasting any meat by like using something too thick. I've done it with like a Hanazuki or whatnot, but even like a thin Hanazuki is thicker than like a thick petty knife. So you probably like the more delicate, the better. Make sure that the last 1.5 to 2 inches of the knife is razor sharp. That's the most important part when you're working with meat like that. But yeah, to me, a 150 or a 135 petty is a great option. You know what? Get something made out of R2. I just had one of those Hayabusa Hanazukis, the HAP 40 ones. We just had one come through the shop for a good customer here. And that would be a good knife because those are thin.
Pretty thin. Yeah. I agree. I love the Takamura petties, like Akugohan petty with R2, super nice and thin. It's sharp out of box, so it's like, it's not as carved up as these boning knives. So you have to be a little bit more. You gotta get used to using that type of motion, right? Because boning knife does have the carve already that helps to do this motion a little bit easier.
Yeah, it's kind of built in.
Yeah, where if you are not careful with the petty knife, it will puncture a little bit easy, right?
Exactly. What about the sickles coming from Munatoshi? How big are they?
They are 175 millimeter in size, so about santoku size
Okay.
lengthwise,
Yeah.
and the handle is like
Now,
about 30 centimeters, so like this size. It's like
yeah.
I don't know, it's
Yeah.
not out of scale, but
30 centimeters is the size of a standard ruler for anybody who's not.
yeah.
Is it 30 centimeters and 12 inches is about the same.
Yeah. So, and the blade is about 7 inches in long, 7 inches long, and that's like standard so-called Echigo Gama, which is the Niigata style sickle. A little bit more taller than the ones that there's Echizen style, which is like very skinny and more like look much more like crescent moon. Echizen Gama also, a lot of them have the serration. Like the Makoto Kurosaki-san was trained to do make a serration on the sickles at the Kato's factory. So
yeah, that's cool. There's this really, I don't know if my father-in-law is watching today, but he's from Northern Ireland originally. And there's this great story about when they bought their house in the suburbs, there was just a ton of grass. Like it was like they hadn't built the other houses around them yet. So he had all this really tall grass in the back, and he went to Home Depot and he rented a sickle. Oh. He was like the Grim Reaper out there, like cutting the grass, not realizing that you could like rent a heavy duty lawnmower.
Right.
So yeah, they poke fun at him all the time for that one.
It's not like this sickle though. Like it's not like you know.
No, that's what he bought.
No. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's what he got.
Right. That's what he got. Right.
We're talking about a little.
Yeah, it's the little ones. It's not like
for like in the garden. You're not like. You're not a pioneer harvesting your.
No.
Peter and Dylan are talking a little bit about that prep pan, if you could use it as a roasting pan. And I would agree with Dylan. It's probably a bit too thin. You probably burn it out pretty easily.
Yeah.
Fred is asking about any sexy Nikiris or Asubas.
Sexy Nikiris. Is this Nakiri? Oh, that's Nakiri. The few Nakiris here.
Yeah. So I'm going to let you dig out a couple. I'm going to answer Zilfex's question here. I recently got a traditional Wa-style 210 Gyuto. The base of my index finger keeps on hurting from cutting, though. For smaller hands, is there a better alternative knife or change my grip? You could do either, all right? If you're finding a 210 is too big and you have smaller hands, get that's nice. You could go with a Nikiri, like what Naoto's holding. A Santoku might do well. But instead of, I'm not sure how you're holding the knife, Zilfex, but this is how I would hold it, okay? Got a Japanese handle here. I rest the knife on my middle finger, and I pinch it with my index finger and my thumb. So it looks like that. And then I don't know if maybe you're holding it like this, or maybe you're holding it back here like that, and it's feeling a bit cramped. But for me, it's all about that rest on the middle finger and then pinch with the index finger and thumb. Naoto's doing it too.
So I found a few knife makers, there aren't that much room between the end of the handle to the heel part. So when some knives, when you hold it, this space is too little, that it will really hurts your middle finger. So that may be the problem as well. When we source out when we try to buy knives, that's one of the things we actually point out to the knife makers and blacksmith. That we say, hey, this is how we hold. This is how we recommend people to hold the knife. Therefore, when there's no much room here, it'll be so uncomfortable. And that's what, like, there are quite a few times that we actually had to talk to the knife makers, because knife makers often are not primarily a user of those knives. They make knives, but they don't say hold those knives 8 hours a day like the chefs do, right? And that's something.
Yeah, it's a very different situation.
Yeah. And that's like a little bit of education that we have to let them know about as well.
Yeah, Yeah, that's one of the nice things about having you around too, right?
Yeah.
So we get to have those conversations through you. So Don Penny is asking us about custom handles.
Yeah.
Bring them by the shop sometime, Don. We can take a look at what we have in stock here in Ottawa. I can show you some pictures of some stuff that we get on a regular basis, or I don't know if Naoto still has a secret stash in his playpen, but let me know what you're after, and then we can get that conversation going. That's very easy.
Yeah.
Don't worry about
Absolutely.
that. And we can take care of it for you in the store. We've done lots of those. Albert loves his 210 Gurin. That's because it's a great knife. Iris is looking for 150 millimeter Debas.
150 mil or so. Double check if there's a Sasaoka-san's Deba at 150 mil.
Yeah.
There are quite a few good ones that around Sakai Takayuki, as well as I have to double check. One of the best valued, not necessarily just a garage sale, but one of the best valued single bevel knives are Sakai Kikumori Tomoshibi line. Tomoshibi line, this is made by two young blacksmith, blacksmith and the sharpener. I guess not a collab, but these two young guys are doing this work. This blacksmith, he used to work for us at Knifewear. Went back to Japan, became blacksmith.
He was your roommate, wasn't it?
No. He came to visit me. Well, no, actually, when he came to visit us, I offered him to stay at our place.
Oh, okay.
Where all other blacksmiths stayed at the B&B. So we kind of, spend some time at night, drinking some beer. And I knew him before too. But anyway, he went back and became blacksmith. And it was and he's really good. And his partner, the sharpener Myojin-san, is really good as well. So the Tomoshibi line, where the priced, it's fantastic single bevel knives to start. Fit and finish and sharpening job. It's relatively easy to sharpen. That's like whole total balance is great.
Look at that. We got to the bottom of the questions. Don Penny piping in, saying that he uses Kokuto Petty on a whole beef tenderloin last week. Worked pretty good. Wouldn't mind something better for the job. Yeah, powdered steel, a little bit longer. I think
just thinner too.
That 150 Akagohan that Naoto is recommending is a great knife for that kind of work. Yeah, I wouldn't use it on like a rack of lamb. Like if you're coming near, like going like scraping on bones or anything, not a good knife for that. But for like kind of delicate, like silver skin removal, that kind of thing, all for it. It's a great knife. And then Dylan is asking us about any workhorse knives for line cooks hitting the sale.
Any, like this Seki Kanetsugu VG2 stainless steel. This whole line will be fantastic. It's kind of our launch. Very nice and thin. So when you're cutting through the like carrots and potatoes, it glides through so well. But because the steel is a so-called VG2, relatively durable type of steel, you don't have to worry too much about the chipping in and stuff. And it's all stainless steel as well. We'll have one knife, 210 millimeter Gyuto, the giveaway coming up on the May 9th. Yeah, May 9th, 3 p.m. Mountain Time. But even if you don't win, we have a plenty, so you can totally purchase it. It's a great knife.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, this is a neat question. Isaac, haven't seen any love for bread knives today. Any homey carbon steel bread knives around?
Carbon steel bread knives is so rare to see.
I've never seen one.
Personally, I haven't seen any. Bread knife love. Yeah, like again, handmade knife makers, they don't usually make bread knives. This heptagon line that I was showing you, this does have bread knives in the line too, so it's pretty good. If you're looking for something a little bit less expensive bread knives, there will be something like Morinoki series that's like really inexpensive. It's a little bit more flimsy side, so but it's like, if you have one, that's kind of cool to have type of stuff. But yeah, like not many knife makers make serrated bread knives. And there's one Sakai Kikumori was showing us like once that their version of bread knives, but basically it was just big ass kiritsuke. And they're like, yeah, this is what we use to cut bread. But how about the baguette? How about the sourdough? And like, yeah, no, that's like really soft loaves of bread, right?
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure what Volcom. I have a suggestion, but I don't think Knifewear sells used made. I'm
Maybe
not
like
sure.
used knives.
Sometimes though, like we always sell retired testers.
Yes.
We don't.
Don't forget. I guess we do have some retired demo. We have the old demo, restored, refurbished knife section as well. They're all one of a kind, great deals. So check out the section. I myself is the responsible on those restoration and fixing those knives for the sales. So those knives will be on the sale section, on the garage sale section. It's not fully updated yet, but it will be by the. So just keep an eye out, and we'll have those on the day of garage sale. Each stores may have a few retired demos. So. Right?
I muted myself again because I was getting a glass of water. Yeah, we've got a couple already. I got some good ones over there.
So
I got like a Masashi Nikiri.
Oh.
I think I got a 0210 retired tester.
Yeah.
So I got cool shit.
So we have a few online only retired stuff, as well as the like in-store only retired, not like used, very lightly used, and we fixed them and restored. So those guys are all going on the sale on that day as well.
Yeah, we use them in our cut like a chef class, and then we sharpen them once or twice, and then we sell them. Yeah, it's easy stuff, Peter's asking if the knives from Mike's dumbass video will be amongst the scratch and dent items. Who knows? I watched that video and I was like, that's not the Mike I know. And then he cut himself, and he deserved it because he was being an idiot. So
maybe stay tuned on that one.
Yeah. And then Kuhn is asking about if the new Masashi lines will be available for garage sale. We're waiting on them to come in.
Yeah.
Odds are they'll be after garage sale.
Yeah.
Correct?
Odds are, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to try to do them both at the same time, launch both lines at the same time.
Yeah.
We just got to let Masashi-san kind of figure it out and get it done, Yeah. No sense in rushing him. He'll be done when he's done.
Yeah.
So we've been chatting for an hour and 20 minutes here.
Oh.
So I think I'm going to go over Nathan's notes again, a little bit of housekeeping, and give everyone a chance to get one last round of questions in.
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
That sounds good.
Cool. So biggest news I have for you is Sharp Knives Rock, episode 11, Garage Sale Edition, is going to be at 3 p.m. Mountain Time. That's 5 p.m. for us here in Ontario. I don't think I'm in it at all. I'm not around that day. No one wants me to be there. They told me that I sucked and I wasn't invited. So that made Mecky laugh. I don't know if anyone can hear it. But in that video, we're going to give away, we got a couple of knives we're giving away. We got the Masashi Kokuen Bunka prototype, which Naoto has shown off several times. And then we've got a Seki Kenetsugu Heptagon 210. I think I know something about that knife. Do I? No, I don't know. No. I did do a couple little videos and stuff.
Right.
But I won't be part of the live presentation. So that Sharp Knives Rock is in preparation. They are nice, eh?
They are nice.
The garage sale is going to be from May 16th to the 23rd. So that's a Monday, May 16th, all the way to the following Monday. We're going to plow right through the May 2-4 weekend and finish it up on the following Monday. Lots of photos for the knives available in the sale. Those are coming up on the website throughout the next week. And we have some, we've got some preview videos. We've got Sharp Knives Rock. It's going to be heavily focused on garage sale this time around. On May 13th, which is the Thursday previous to the garage sale, we're going to have, at 2 p.m. Mountain Time, a little bit of a sneak preview, more in-depth than what we did today. And then on the 16th, starting at 8 a.m. Mountain Time, we're setting up in the warehouse and showing off knives throughout the day, right? So if you are unable to go into one of the stores, you're shopping online, you can tune into the video and you can ask lots of questions. They're going to have, it's going to be a whole slew of people. Naoto will be there. Mike will be there. Nathan will be there. Maybe Kevin, who knows? They're going to be set up with calipers and rulers and scales.
Yep.
So you can ask for, okay, I bought this knife. Can I have one that's lighter than the others? I'd like to get a look at this knife. How thick is it at the spine? That kind of stuff. It's to help everybody who is unable to come into one of the stores. Mm-hmm. It's as close to getting your hands on the knife through the screen.
Yeah.
All right. Yesterday, we also released a new video on our YouTube channel. Nathan hosted it. It's a $10 versus $100 versus $1,000 knife. What is the difference between different tiers of quality? What should you be looking for? What's there to get excited about? I think he did a really good job. There's a really great analogy. He used different types of streaming equipment. Peter just got to the question. I was anticipating this to go faster. Is Kevin's penny farthing still securely off limits? Yes.
We'll show you where the penny farthing.
Yeah, that needs to be someone needs to go get a picture of that and just post it on social media, because that gets asked about a lot. So, well, here's Zilfex has a good question to finish out the day for us. Any good recommendations for knives in the sale as a beginner amateur cook? Looking to finish my tool set with a Nikiri and secondary Gyuto. He then says, and or Santoku.
Right. So, if you're gonna start off, that you go ahead.
I don't know what you already have, but having more than one Gyuto is a really good idea. And if you really want to have a Nikiri, I would go Nikiri Gyuto, because Nikiri Santoku is too similar for me. And I'm bigger, if you were to compare me to Naoto, I'm 6'1" and 260 pounds. I'm a fair bit bigger. So I don't use a Santoku. I own one, but I lean on Gyutos quite a bit more. If it's for home, get something cool. Get that Seki Kenetsugu knife you just had out. That's a cool knife.
Yeah.
Get something with I don't know, something that makes you feel good. What looks cool, something like that. If you want to go crazy, get one of those Guren knives. That's what I want.
Mm-hmm.
It's about, what are those? They're $600 for a 210.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just keep in mind, if you carbon steels, you got to take care of a little bit more. But what do you got there for Nikiris? You were showing off some. Oh, that's a cool one. Yeah, that's one of those Tsunehisa ones.
Yeah, Tsunehisa, Nami, Gyuto. You know what? If you are to be a little bit more careful about the Ujo knives, and you're comfortable with taking care of the carbon steel ones, we have the some Hinokuni Sakai-san's a Nakiri. You can use his knives, right?
I used his. I used a Santoku.
His Nakiri is great, nice and long, 180 millimeter. It's got
That's a
really,
good size.
Yeah, and its profile is fantastic. It's a little bit more flatter with a little bit of a curve to it. It's nice and thin. And he like a say who's it, the Mazaki-san, you can see that the grain of the how he sharpens them, that means he finishes the bevel by hand.
Mm-hmm.
So it's different. Yeah, the grit.
I was super impressed using that knife. I used the Santoku. It's 180 mil Santoku.
Yep.
Blue carbon steel is 100 and like what? They're like $190, $195. Like they're cheap and they are wicked.
For the quality, his knives are fantastic.
Yeah. I forgot to mention this earlier. Remember how we did the photo contest?
Yeah.
A while ago?
Yeah.
Well, a really good customer of the Ottawa store, he lives down in Toronto. His name is Sam Chang.
Yeah.
He had prints made
of
his submissions, and he gave them to the store.
Oh, that looks really cool.
So look, this one says like right, it's like hashtag Sharp Knives Rock.
Yeah.
You know, and then he's got his hammer tone petty, stuck into a Nashi pear.
Yeah,
I was trying to call me.
I remember seeing that picture.
Yeah, and then he's got a Takamura Nakiri in a pile of veggies. That's one of those cool wah-handled ones that we only got in last year. And then he's got his Fujimoto Nishiji slicer stuck in the snow.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hang these up in the store.
Yeah.
I thought it was very generous of him to bring these by.
They look
so
really
that's
cool.
Sam Chang. If you're watching, thank you.
Just shout out.
I didn't get a chance to say thanks. He came in yesterday. I was off.
Right.
So.
Oh, that is beautiful pictures too, right?
Yeah, he did a really good job. So, well, I think that's it for me. What I don't know if we told anyone to like or subscribe.
Oh, yeah. If you get a chance, like and subscribe. Well, if you want to win a knife, like you need to like and subscribe to the channel anyway. So, yeah. So again, the little bit last thing, the garage sale, May 16th to 23rd.
Yeah.
And we'll be doing whole bunch of videos and live streams. There will be a lot of unique knives, one of a kinds, different like unique handles, as well as the retired demos and stuff. So this is the first garage sale back in kind of a little bit more normalcy. So you can go to our stores, and we'll have quite a few knives to take a look at. So
no, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep.
Yeah, we're excited in the store. We're excited to have you back. So cool. Well, I think that's it for today, Naoto.
Alrighty. Well, thanks, Lordy.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for watching.
Thanks to everyone for watching. Yeah. Thank you. Ciao.
Cool. Bye for now.